I was about to say.
Yes, okay, so here we go. Yeah, we've been talking for about 1
Oh
minute
my
already,
goodness.
with the stream not actually being live. I have just made it live. But anyway, sandwich everyone! Yes, that ought to tell you just how prepared I tend to be for these streams. Not very. Oh, yeah, Ryu, you said you were wearing the Deut shirt today, weren't you? Now I'm gonna have to explain what we're doing again.
Yeah, you were talking
Yes.
for a good minute before you hit go live. Oh god, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Are you
just.
alright?
Yeah, fine. It's just 'cause I'm laughing so
I
much. You
did
made me
that
laugh so.
this morning. I my seasonal allergies were acting up, and I didn't realize because I hadn't spoken. It was very early in the morning, um, and my friend Kayla came over to me, and I tried to say, "Oh my God, hi Kayla," but instead what came out was, "Oh my God, hi."
Oh no!
I started like dry heaving.
Oh, good grief!
It's like my throat had clogged up from from the
Oh
congestion.
no!
She
Oh.
was so happy. She goes, "Oh, you're so happy to see me that you got so excited you almost threw up. That's so sweet." So darn right it is.
But anyway, Fox Opal as well. Today, uh, probably doesn't help then that we are both laughing already because we are playing the Eye of Argon game. For those of you who are unaware what the Eye of Argon game is, quite simply, all you have to do, what I have to do is, it's based on this here little story that was published in a fanzine in around 1970 called The Eye of Argon. And it is so poorly written that a little game has sprung up around it where people have to read it and try not to laugh. And indeed, they have to read it exactly as it is written because there's a lot of spelling errors in it. And if you laugh, you have to switch to the other person. Add a laugh counter, says Nicholas Machado. That is not a bad idea. I think I might actually do that. Give me one
Yeah, that
moment.
sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna get some water while I do that because I have a feeling I'm gonna need
Okay.
it.
Yeah. I think you're gonna need it. We got 3 counters today. I'll put it. This will probably count for all 2 of us. Yes, I was about to say all 3 of us, but then I realised there was only 2 of us. So it's all 2 of us. We need a background, a very opaque background. That'll do it. This stream ain't gonna end if that's the case. Oh yeah. Yeah, this stream is not ending anytime soon. Dear me. Just make some space there. Just wait. Where am I going to put this, come to think? Up in the corner will probably do. Is what? Should we just wait for Wherg to get some water? Because I get the feeling we're both going to need it. And I've left mine over there. Give me 1 second.
Alright, I have returned.
And I've just come back with my water as well. Because I noticed it
Excellent.
was beside my bed instead of beside my... Right. Now the eternal question. Who's going to go first?
You know what? Since I haven't read it before, you want me to?
Okay. So, here we go.
Alright.
Go ahead.
So a little bit of background. I've never read this. I've only barely heard of it from slight discussions with Deut. So this is gonna be interesting.
Here we go.
All right, The Eye of Argon by Jim Theus. The weather-beaten trail wound around... fuck!
Seconds in! Seconds in, and you're laughing, not at the story, but because you messed up!
Alright, your turn.
Okay. Okay.
Should you make a cough counter because you know I'm not feeling well?
Also because I tend to cough while and I laugh too hard. Okay. Now the question is, do we count that? Or do we...
I think that counts.
Okay, alright, let's go. Okay. The weather-beaten trail wound ahead into the dust-racked climes of the barren land which dominates large portions of the Norgolian Empire. Each worn hoofprint, smothered by the sifting sands of time, shone dully against the dust-splattered crust of Earth. That was a laugh.
What the hell?
Right. Yeah, right. Go on.
Alright. The tireless sun cast its parching rays of incandescence from overhead, halfway through its daily revolution. Does a pause count? Because I'm struggling right now.
No pauses don't. Only actual
Okay.
laugh.
Okay. Small rodents scampered about, occupying themselves in the daily accomplishments of their dismal lives. Dust sprayed over 3 heaving mounts in blinding.
Okay.
Why is this so bad?
Okay. Right, it's my go.
We've just started. How?
I need to breathe.
Daily revolution.
Sorry. This is me trying not to laugh. Okay. Well, they bore the burdensome cargoes of their struggling overseers. Prepare to embrace your creators in the Stygian haunts of hell, barbarian! Gasped the first soldier. Only after you have kissed the fleeting stead of death, wretch, returned Grigna. Sorry.
What does that mean?
I don't know. The fleeting stead of death. Anyway, you'll go now.
Alright. A sweeping blade of flashing steel riveted from the massive barbarian's hide enameled shield as his rippled right arm thrust forth, sending a steel-shod blade to the hilt into the soldier's vital organs. The disemboweled mercenary crumpled from his saddle and sank into the clouded sward, sprinkling the patched dust with crimson droplets of escaping life fluid.
Well.
The enthused barbarian swiveled.
Okay. Oh gosh, I've just realised I haven't been updating the laugh counter, so that's...
Oh, no.
Is that 5 now? I think that's 5 laughs.
Yeah, this is basically Tables of Fire, but unironic.
Yeah. Okay. The enthused barbarian swiveled about, his shock of fiery red hair tossing robustly. How does hair toss robustly? How does that happen?
Oh, this is one hell of a sentence.
Yes.
This one's difficult. The enthused barbarian swiveled about, his shock of fiery red hair tossing robustly in the humid air currents as he faced the attack of the defeated soldier's fellow in arms. "Damn you, barbarian!" shrieked the soldier as he observed his comrade in death. That's the sound of a shriek. A gleaming scimitar smote a heavy blow against the renegade's spiked helmet, bringing a heavy cloud over the accordion's misting brain. Shaking off the effects of the pounding blow to his head, Grigner brought down his scarlet-streaked edge against the soldier's crudely... Excuse me. I'm really not feeling well today, guys. Against the soldier's crudely forged hauberk, clinging harmlessly to the left side of the opponent. Of his opponent, I should say. The soldier's head whinnied...
The soldier's stead.
I thought it said the soldier's head whinnied, and I'm like, what?
No, it's the soldier's stead, because the dude didn't know how to spell steed. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's one on the laugh counter. The soldier stead whinnied as he directed the horse back from the driving blade of the barbarian. Grigner leashed his mount forward as the hoarsely piercing battle cry of his wilderness-bred race resounded from his grinding lungs. A twirling blade bounced harmlessly from the...
What, did the last sentence catch up to you?
I don't know why I'm laughing now. It's just I'm laughing because I'm laughing.
I think the previous sentence caught up to you.
Quite possibly. Yes. But, yeah, so you can go ahead and start on the last word I said.
Right. A twirling blade bounced harmlessly from the mighty thief's buckler as his rolling right arm cleft upward, sending a foot of blinding steel ripping through the Cimmerian's exposed gullet. A gasping gurgle from the soldier's writhing mouth as he tumbled to the golden sand at his feet and wormed agonized. He wormed.
He wormed. And wormed agonizingly in his deathbed. Grigner's emerald green orbs glared lustfully. You know it's gonna get good when it says lust. David Melbourne, we are playing the Eye of Argon game. Chat will explain it to you.
What kind of story is this?
A bad one. A really bad one.
Grigner's emerald green orbs glared lustfully at the wallowing soldier struggling before his chestnut-swirled mount. His scowling voice reverberated over the dying form in a tone of mocking mirth. You city-bred dogs should learn not to antagonize your better. Reining his wary mount ahead, Grigner resumed his journey to the Norregolian city of Gorzan, hoping to discover wine, women, and adventure to boil the wild blood coursing through his savage veins.
Mm-hmm.
The trek to Gorzan was forced upon Grigner when the soldiers of Kryn were leashed upon him by a faithless concubine he had wooed. His scandalous activities throughout the Cimmerian city had unleashed throngs of havoc and uproar among its refined patricians, leading them to tack a heavy reward over his head. He had barely managed to escape through the back entrance of the... What? He'd barely managed to escape through the back entrance of the inn he had been guzzling in as a squad of soldiers pounced upon him after spilling a spout of blood from the leader of the mercenaries as he dismembered one of the officer's arms.
There we go.
What is happening? What is happening?
That counts as a laugh, by the way.
This is nonsense.
As he dismembered one of the officer's arms, he retreated to his mount to make his way towards Gorzum, rumoured to contain hoards of plunder, and many young wenches for any man who has the backbone to wrest them away. I was trying! I couldn't not!
I don't even know what's going on in this story.
Oh, that's another for the cough counter.
I'm really trying to follow.
I think I can kind of, maybe? Not quite.
When did he get to the tavern, let alone leave it?
I don't know. In any case.
I thought he was fighting in the sand.
Anyway, chapter 2 is yours.
Alright. Arriving after dusk in Gosram, Grigner descended into a dismal alley, reining his horse before a beaten tavern. The one he just fucking left? What? The red-haired giant strode in the dimly lit hostelry, reeking of foul odors and cheap wine. The air was heavy with choking fumes, spewing from smoldering torches, encased within Thedan's earthen-packed walls. Tables were clustered with groups of drunken thieves and cutthroats tossing dice or making love to willing prostitutes. Eyeing a slender female crouched alone on a nearby bench, Grigner advanced, wishing to wholesomely occupy his time.
I think that counts as a laugh.
No, he isn't. Yeah.
Gotta update that
This
counter.
author has like a list of some really good descriptions, and then like put them in like a Mad Lib. You know what I mean? Put adjective here at random.
I guess. That's probably what he did. Poor old Jimmy Face. Where was I? The flickering torches
Wholesomely
cast
occupies time.
weird shafts of luminescence dancing over the half-naked harlot of his choice. Her stringy orchid twines of hair swaying gracefully over the lithe opaque nose as she reached a half-drained mug to her pale red lips. Glancing upward, the alluring complexion noted the stalwart giant as he rapidly approached. A faint glimmer sparked from the pair of deep blue ovals of the amorous female. I can't! The amorous female. That's there's a fucking way with words.
The deep blue ovals of the amorous female as she motioned towards Grigner, enticing him to join her. The barbarian seated himself upon a stool at the wench's side, exposing his body, naked save for a loincloth brandishing a long steel broadsword, an iron spiraled battle helmet, and a thick leather sandals, to her unobstructed view. Thou hast... Oh, sorry. Thou hast need to occupy your time, barbarian. Question the female?
That got you.
The narrator doesn't know what's going on. He's just guessing.
Okay. Anyway. Only if
Green Guy
something...
has a good idea for a future stream. We should play the Deut World AI dungeon. That would be fun.
That ought to be fun. Anyway. Only if something worth offering is within my reach, stated Grigner as his hands crept to embrace the tempting female, who welcomed them with open willingness. From where do you come, barbarian, and by what are you called? Gasped the complying wench, as Grigner smothered her lips with the blazing touch of his flaming mouth.
I mean, he just had some hot Cheetos.
or some Chipotle or something.
Yeah.
Go on.
The engrossed Titan ignored the queries of the inquisitive female, pulling her towards him and crushing her sagging nipples to his yearning chest. Is this... you know what? It's your channel. If this is what you want to read, I'll go for it. Without struggle, she gave in, winding her soft arms around the harshly bronzed hide of Grigner corded shoulder blades as his calloused hands caressed her firm, protruding busts. So, in summary, her chest is on his hands and his own chest at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You make love well, wench, admitted Grigner as he... admitted Grigner as he reached for the vessel of potent wine his charge had been quaffing. A flying foot caught the mug Grigner had taken a hold of, sending its blood-red contents sloshing over a flickering crescent, leashing tongues of bright orange flame to the foot-trodden floor. Remove yourself, sirrah. The wench belongs to me, blabbered a drunken soldier, too far consumed by the influences of his virile brew to take note of the superior size of his adversary. Grigner lithely bounded from the startled female, his face lit up to an ashen red ferocity, and eyes locked in a searing feral blaze towards the swaying soldier. To hell with you, braggart! Bellowed the angered accordion as he hefted his finely honed broadsword. The staggering soldier clumsily reached towards the pommel of his dangling sword, but before his hands ever touched the oaken hilt, a silvered flash was slicing the heavy air. The thews? What?
I was just thinking you were doing so well, Wherg, and then a complete nonsense word just throws you through a loop. All right. Okay. Okay. Green guy says, sounds like he's
It
writing a
sounds
year
like he's
two
writing
story.
it.
Year
Yeah.
two story. And the teacher told him he wasn't allowed to use said. Yeah, like there are probably kids in my class who can write better than this.
Yeah.
The thews of the savage's lashing right arm bulged from the glistening bronzed hide as his blade bit deeply into the soldier's neck, lopping off the confused head of his senseless tormentor. With a nauseating thud, the severed oval toppled to the floor as the segregated torso.
Segregated.
Segregated torso. It's like he wrote like a short and then just ran it through one of those sort of verbose generators. Okay.
The nauseating thud, the severed opal toppled to the floor as the segregated torso of Grigner's bovine antagonist. Is he a cow?
Apparently he's become a cow. I think I forgot to update the counter a couple of times there. Let's bump it up to 13. Okay. The segregated torso of Grigner's bovine antagonist swayed, then collapsed in a pool of swirled crimson. In the confusion, the soldier's fellows confronted Grigner with unsheathed cutlasses, directed toward the latter's scowling makeup. The slut should have picked his quarry more carefully, roared the victor in a mocking baritone growl as he wiped his dripping blade on the prostrate form. Good grief! Good grief!
Why is he so mean?
I think it's supposed to be, he's a barbarian, so he's mean, kind of thing.
He's just an asshole. He wiped the dripping blade on the prostrate form and returned it to its scabbard. The fool should have shown more prudence. However, you shall rule your actions while rotting in the pits, stated one of the sprawled soldier's comrades. Grigner's hand began to remove his blade from its leather housing, but... Can I say this?
Go ahead.
Alright. But retarded the motion in face of the blades waving before his face. Dismiss your hand from the hilt, barbarian, or you shall find a foot of steel sheathed in your gizzard. Grigner weighed his position, observing his plight, whereupon he took the soldier's advice as the only logical choice. To attempt to hack his way from this...
Hang on.
Yeah?
Check the speech again. There's a misspelled word.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where?
Barbarian is spelled differently.
Give me just 1 second. Dismiss your hand from the hilt, barbarian.
Okay. My turn, I guess. I swear I wasn't trying to make you laugh. I was just pointing that out because you accidentally corrected it. Dismiss your hand from the hilt, barbarian, or you shall find a foot of steel sheathed in your gizzard. Grigner weighed his position, observing his plight, whereupon he took the soldier's advice as the only logical choice. To attempt to hack his way from his present predicament could only warrant certain death. He was of no mind to bring upon his own demise if an alternate path presented itself. The will to necessitate his life... The will to necessitate his life? What the fuck does that mean?
He doesn't want to die.
I guess.
It's just a really dumb way of saying it.
Just unnecessarily prosaic. Go on.
Since Struvel Defender, since Cat Defender, it doesn't seem to be here. I'll say it for her. Unnecessarily purple, more like Violet Beauregard. Oh my god, the
With
real Super Mario is in the chat.
oh my god, the real Super Mario is definitely in the chat. Hello, Chris Pratt.
All right, Chris Pratt. I hope you like our voice acting here. the Wow, that's a loud vehicle. The will to necessitate his life forced him to yield to the superior force in hopes of a moment of carlessness later upon the part of his captors in which he could effect a more plausible means of escape. You may steady your arms. I will go without a struggle. Your decision is a wise one, yet perhaps you would have been better off had you forced death. The soldier's mouth wrinkled to a sadistic grin of knowing mirth as he prodded his prisoner with his sword point. After an indiscriminate period of marching through slinking alleyways and dim moonlighted streets, the procession confronted a massive Sergalio. I don't know what that word means. Um, the palace area was surrounded by an iron grating with a lush garden upon all sides. The group was admitted through the gilded gateway, and Grigner was led along a stone pathway bordered by plush vegetation, lustfully, lustfully enhanced by the moon's shimmering rays. What? Is he
He likes
attracted to the
lust,
plant?
apparently. Does Jim Ties apparently is pronounced or something like that. Yeah. Right.
He really likes his plants.
The group was admitted through the gilded gateway, and Grigmor was led along a stone pathway bordered by a plush vegetation, lustfully enhanced by the moon's shimmering rays. Upon reaching the palace, the group was granted entrance, and after several minutes of explanation, led through several winding corridors to a richly draped chamber. Confronting the group was a short, stocky man seated upon a gold throne. Tapestries of richly draped regal blue silk covered all walls of the chamber, while the steps leading to the throne were plated with sparkling white ivory. The man upon the throne had a naked wench seated at each of his arms. This guy does not let up! This guy does not fucking let up! With the fucking lust and the wenches! Just when you think he's starting to get some semblance of sense, it just goes. And he does something to make it completely ridiculous.
I'm sorry. Where were we?
We were at the man upon the throne had a naked wench seated at each of his arms.
Oh, right. And a trusted advisor seated in the back of him. At each corner of the chamber, that word took a few tries. A guard stood at attention
That was
with
a laugh.
upraised pikes support.
That was a laugh.
Does that count?
Yeah, you giggled.
Okay.
You giggled through guard. A guard stood at attention with upraised pikes supported in their hands. Golden chain. The word upraised hit me a couple of seconds later. Upraised. One to the cough counter. Oh my. Oh.
With upraised pikes supported in their hands, golden chainmail adorning their torsos. That's a possessive torsos. And barred helmets emitting scarlet plumes enshrouding their heads. The man rose from his throne to the dais surrounding him. His plush turquoise robe dangled loosely from his chunky frame. The soldiers surrounding Grigner fell to their knees with heads bowed to the stone masonry of the floor in fearful dignity of their sovereign liege. To their sovereign liege, I should say. Explain the purpose of this intrusion upon my chateau! Your Serenity, resplendent in noble grandeur, we have brought this yokel before you, the soldier gestured towards Grigner, for the redress of your all-knowing wisdom in judgment regarding his fate. Down on your knees, lout, and play proper homage to your sovereign, commanded the pudgy noble of Grigner. By the surly beard of Murfk, Grigner kneels to no man, scowled the massive barbarian. You dare to deal this blasphemous act to me? You are indeed brave, stranger, yet your valor smacks of foolishness. I find you to be the only fool, sitting upon your pompous throne, enhancing the rolling flaps of your belly in the midst of your elaborate luxury and... The soldier sitting at Grignor's side smote him heavily in the face with the flat of his sword, cutting short the harsh words and knocking his battered helmet to the masonry with an echoing clang. The paunchy noble's sagging round face, flushed suddenly pale, then pastily lit up to a chair. What?
I think that was a giggle.
Okay, that counts. That doesn't make any sense.
Does anything in this story make
No,
any semblance
none
of
of
sense?
this makes sense.
Okay. The paunchy noble's sagging round face flushed suddenly pale, then pastily lit up to a lustrous cherry-red radiance. His lips trembled with malicious rage while emitting a muffled, sibilant gibberish. His sagging flabs rolled like a...
So he's just like flailing around.
I
Just
fucking
flailing around
threw
and
my
saying
head back
nonsense.
because it was so funny. Okay. Okay.
The sagging flaps rolled like a tub of upset jelly.
Did I update the counter last time, chat? I forget. Okay.
Why is the jelly upset?
Rolled like a tub of upset jelly, then compressed as he sucked in his gut in an attempt to conceal his softness.
The prince regained his statue and spoke to the soldiers surrounding Grigner, his face conforming to an ugly expression of sadistic humor. Wasn't he the king? Ah, whatever. Take this uncouth heathen to the vault of misery, and be sure that his agonies are long and drawn out before death can release him. As you wish, sire. Your command shall be heeded immediately, answered the soldier on the right of Grigner as he stared into the barbarian's seemingly unaffected face. The advisor, seated in the back of the noble, slowly rose and advanced to the side of his master, motioning the wenches seated at his sides to remove themselves. He lowered his head and whispered to the noble, Eminence, the punishment you have decreed will cause much misery to the scum, yet it will last only a short time. Then release him to a land beyond the sufferings of the human body. Why not mellow him in one of the subterranean vaults for a few days, then send him to life labor in one of your buried mines? To one such as he, a life spent in the confinements of the Stygian pits will be an infinitely more appropriate and lasting torture. The noble cupped his drooping double chin in the folds of his brimming palm, meditating for a moment upon the rationality of his counselor's words, then raised his shaggy brown eyebrows and turned toward the advisor, eyes aglow. As always, Agafund.
Agafund. Dear me. Hi, Struvel Defender.
Hi, Struvel Defender. You missed when I made a Charlie in the Chocolate Factory reference.
Incidentally, in the previous paragraph, you missed Briming Palm.
Yeah, that too.
Briming Palm. Okay. Here we go. As
oh,
always,
wait, what was that?
The noble cupped
His
his drooping double chin
briming
in the folds of
palm.
his briming palm. Okay. As
My
always,
bad. Sometimes it's. Go ahead.
As always, Agafnid, you speak with great wisdom. Your words ring of great knowledge concerning the nature of one such as he, saith the king. The noble turned toward the prisoner with a noticeable shimmer reflecting in his frog-like eyes, and his lips contorting to a greasy grin. I have decided to void my previous decree. The prisoner shall be removed to one of the palace's underground vaults. There he shall stay until I have decided that he has sufficiently simmered, whereupon he is to be allowed to spend the remainder of his days at labour in one of my mines. Upon hearing this, Grigner realised that his fate would be far less merciful than death to one such as he, who is used to roaming the countryside at will. A life of confinement would be more than his body and mind could stand up to. This type of life would be immeasurably worse than death. I shall never understand the ways if your twisted civilization. I simply defend my honour and am condemned to life confinement by a pig who sits on his royal ass, wooing whores, and knows nothing of the affairs of the land he imagines to rule. Lectures, Grigner? Enough of this! Away with the slut before I loose my control! I was doing so well.
Lectures, Grigner?
Lectures, Grigner?
Like, that's the full sentence.
Lectures, Grigner?
Also, I want to point out, I was right. This is the king. And he's also the prince.
Somehow. Go
Lectures, Grigner.
Okay, your turn.
Alright. Seeing the peril of his position, Grigner searched for an opening, crushing Prudence to the sward. He plowed into the soldier at his left arm, taking hold of his sword and bounding to the dais, supporting the prince. Before the prince, God
Prince
damn
again.
it! Why is this so bad?
Okay, here we go. Right, and bounding to the dais, supporting the prince before the startled guards could regain their composure. Agafnid leaped Grigner and his sire, but found a sword blade permeating the length of his ribs. Permeating the length of his ribs.
He just found it. It was just there.
It's just, oh, there's a sword in my ribs.
It's like Looney Tunes logic, you know. The sword isn't there until he looks down and sees it.
Green Guy, incidentally, I did do the voice for the Trail of a Tamarack Trail. I'll have to find that. I think I showed that on stream. Anyway.
What is Tamarack Trail?
Game by some friends of mine, basically.
Oh,
and it's your turn. We were on I think
right.
it was permeating the length of his ribs. We were on.
Permeating the length of his ribs before he loosed his weapon. Before he could loose his weapon. The counselor slumped to his knees as Grigner slid his crimsoned blade from Agvin's rib cage. The fat prince stood undulating in insurmountable fear before the edge of the fiery-maned comet. His flasks of jellied blubber pulsating. What the fuck? Why is this guy just in perpetual motion?
Apparently. Okay. His flabs of jellied blubber pulsating to and fro in ripples of flowing terror. Where is your wisdom and power now, your majesty? Growled Grigner. The prince went rigid as Grigner discerned him glazing over his shoulder. He swivelled to note the cause of the noble's attention, raised his sword over his head, and prepared to leash a vicious downward cleft, but fell short as the haft of a steel-rimed pike clashed against his unguarded skull. Then blackness and solitude. Silence enshrouding and ever peaceful reigned supreme. Before me, sirrah! Before me as always! Ha! Ha ha! Ha! Nobly cackled. Who's Nobly?
I'm assuming he's the prince/king.
I guess. I'm sorry I laughed. That means we have to switch. I haven't been updated. I haven't updated the yawn counter, the laugh counter even. On chapter 3.
Consciousness returned to Grigner in stigmatic pools as his mind gradually cleared of the cobwebs cluttering its inner recesses. Yet the Stygian cloud of charcoal ebony remained, an incompatible shield of blackness enhanced by the bleak absence of sound. Krickner's muddled brain reeled from the shock of the blow he had received at the base of his skull. The events leading to this predicament were slow to filter back to him. He dickered with the notion that he was dead and had descended, or sunk, however it may be, to the shadowed land beyond the aperture of the grave, but rejected this hypothesis when his memory shifted back within his grips. Excuse me. This was not the land of the dead. It was something infinitely more precarious than anything the grave could offer. Death promised an infinity of peace, not the finite misery of an inactive life of confined torture, forever concealed from the life-bearing shafts. The life-bearing shafts?
As the actress said to the bishop. I'm sorry. Was it the shafts that made you laugh, or was it?
It's just the phrase "life-bearing shafts."
Okay. Incidentally, I think you missed a couple of misspellings as well. It was apparature of the grave, and
oh, I'm sorry.
Sifted back within his
apparature.
Grips. Apparature. Here we go.
Hey, you know, I've read so much Tables of Fire that I've got like the second vision for it all.
Not the finite misery of an inactive life of confined torture, forever concealed from. No, that's got me laughing too.
See, it's a funny phrase.
It is. Life-bearing shafts.
Death promises an infinity of peace, not the finite misery of an inactive life of confined torture, forever concealed from the life-bearing shafts of the beloved rising sun, which is known for its shafts. The orb had been before taken for granted, yet now cherished above all else, to be forever refused further glimpses of snow-capped summits of the land of his birth, never again to witness the thrill of plundering unexplored lands beyond the crest of a bleeding horizon. And perhaps, worst of all, the denial to ever again encompass the lustful excitement of caressing the naked curves of the body of a trim-yowned wench.
A trim-yowned wench. Okay. This was indeed one of the buried chasms of hell concealed within the inner depths of the palace's despised interior. A fearful ebony chamber devised to drive to the brinks of insanity the minds of the unfortunately condemned through the inapt solitude of a limbo of listless, dreary silence. Chapter 3.5, for some reason. A tightly rung elliptical circle or torches cast their wavering shafts prancing morbidly over the smooth surface of prancing morbidly.
I had to mute myself so I wouldn't make you laugh. But chapter 3.5 really got me.
Okay. Right. You'll go.
All right. A tightly rung elliptical circle or torches. He isn't sure which one it is.
I definitely did not update it. I keep laughing so hard that I forget to update it. Right.
Nothing happened in the first half of the chapter.
Oh, that's a cough. Oh.
All that happened is he woke up. It's just three paragraphs saying that he woke up and realized he wasn't dead. Then it's the next half of the chapter.
Do quick! If you die this stream, he will get the channel. This is this is now my video will. If I die, the entire channel and the responsibility of Chaturday goes to Wherg.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. A tightly rung
We
elliptical
get a
circle or
Whergitarium if she
torches.
doesn't die of laughter. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
A tightly rung elliptical circle or torches cast their wavering shafts prancing morbidly over the smooth surface of a rectangular ridged altar. Altar is in change. Expertly chiseled forms of grotesque gargoyles graced the oblique rim protuberate. Is that even a word?
I
Protuberating?
don't think so.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Protuberating.
So protuberant means to protrude or to bulge. So protuberating that's not a word.
Ah, okay.
All right, protruberating.
Okay,
Where
yoga.
was protruberating? Protruberating the length of the grim orifice of death, staring forever ahead into nothingness in complete ignorance of the bloody rites enacted in their presence. Brown, flaking stains decorated the golden surface of the ridge surrounding the altar, which banked to a small slit at the lower right-hand corner of the altar. The slit stood above a crudely pounded pail, which had se- blah, 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 which had several silver mesh chalices hanging at its sides, dangling at the rim of the golden mallet, the handle of which was engraved with images of twisted faces and groved at its far end with slots designed for a snug hand grip. The head of the mallet was slightly larger than a clenched fist, and shaped with a smooth oval mass. Encircling the marble altar was a congregation of leering shaman. Eerie chants of bygone age, originating unknown eons before the memory of man, were being uttered from the buried recesses of the acolyte's deep lungs.
That counts.
They're lings!
Deep lings. Nice. Okay. 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 Orange paint was smeared in generous globules over the tops of Thu priests' wrinkled, shaven scalps, while golden rings projected from the lobes of their pink ears. Ornate robes of luscious purple satin enclosed their bulging torsos, attached around their waists with. I think the bulging torsos took a couple of seconds to get me. Yes. You'll start again for the bulging torsos.
From their bulging torsos, attached around their waists with silvered silk lashes, lashed with ebony buckles in the shape of morose, mist-shaped skulls, dangling around. Excuse me. Dangling around their necks were oval-fashioned medallions held by thin gold chains, featuring in their centers blood-red rubies, which resembled crimson fetish eyeballs. Cushioning their bare feet were plush red felt slippers with pointed golden spikes projecting from their tips. Those are not bare feet then. Situated in front of the altar and directly adjacent to the copper pail was a massive jade idol, a misshaped, hideous bust of the shaman's pagan deity. Or deity? I can't even tell if these words are spelled right or not
Mm-hmm.
anymore. The shimmering green idol was placed in a sitting posture on an ornately carved golden throne raised upon a round devery plated upon a round, devery-plated dais, its bulging arms and webbed hands resting on the padded arms of the seat. Its head was entwined in golden snake-like coils hanging over its oblong ears, which tapered off to thin, hollow points. Its nose was a bulging triangular mass sunken in at its sides with tau gaping nostrils.
Let me see.
Thievery.
Thievery. So it said it bulging arms. It bulging arms. Okay. Right, where were we? We were at its nose was a bulging triangular mass, sunken in at its sides with tau gaping nostrils. Dramatic beneath the nostrils was a twisted, shaggy-lipped mouth, giving the impression of a slobbering, sadistic grimace. At the foot of the heathen deity, a slender, pale-faced female, naked but for a golden jeweled harness enshrouding her huge outcropping breasts, supporting long silver laces which extended to her thigh, stood before the pearl-white field with noticeable shivers travelling up and down the length of her exquisitely moulded... I was trying to so hard.
You got further than I did. I was cackling over here. I had my mic muted so I wouldn't mess you up.
Oh, my head!
Alright, that's definitely one more for the cough counter.
Did you cough?
No, you did.
Oh, I did. I didn't realise I coughed.
What do you mean you didn't realize?
Push, dude, push! Oh, good grief! Oh, good grief! Chat, I am your daddy!
Congratulations!
I am your daddy, not your mother!
That's me.
Okay, yes.
Alright.
Anyway. Right.
Her delicate lips trembled beneath soft, narrow hands as she attempted to conceal herself from the piercing stare of the ambivalent idol. Glaring directly towards her was the stony, cycloptic face of the bloated deity. Gaping from its single oblong socket was scintillating, many faceted scarlet emerald, a brilliant gem seeming to possess a life all of its own, a priceless gleaming stone capable of domineering the wealth of conquering empires. The Eye of Argon. Chapter 4. All knowledge of measuring time had escaped Grigner. When a person is deprived of the sun, moon, and stars, he loses all conception of time as he previously understood it. It seemed as if years had passed, if time were being measured by terms of misery and mental anguish, yet he estimated that his stay had only been a few days in length. He had slept 3 times and had been fed 5 times since his awakening in the crypt. However, when the actions of the body are restricted, its needs are also affected. The need for nourishment and slumber are directly proportional to the functions the body has performed, meaning that when free and active, Grigner may become hungry every 6 hours and witness the desire to sleep every 15 hours. Whereas in his present condition, he may encounter the need for food every 10 hours and the want for rest every 20 hours. Wow, this is awful. All methods he had done before
I think that was
depended
a giggle.
upon. I'm just laughing at myself. How bad this story is.
It was a giggle, and
This
it didn't
is
say nourishment.
abysmal.
It didn't say nourishment. It said nourishmanette. What?
Oh
Was
Lord.
Wait. Where was it? All methods he had before depended on.
Yeah. Give me just one second. Um, yeah. So, hence he may have, uh, yeah, all methods he had before depended on. Yeah, that's where you're gonna start.
All methods he had before depended on were extinct in the dismal pit. Hence he may have been imprisoned for 10 minutes or 10 years, he did not know, resulting in a disheartened emotion deep within his being. The food, if you can honour the mouldering lumps of fetid mush to that extent, was borne to him by two guards who opened a portal at the top of his enclosure and shoved it to him in wooden bowls, retrieving the food and water bowels from his previous meal at the same time, after which they threw back the bolts on the iron latch and returned to their other duties. Since deprived of all other means of nourishment, Grigner was impelled to eat the tainted slop in order to ward off the pangs of starvation, though as he stuffed it into his mouth with his filthy fingers and struggled to force it down his throat, he imagined it was that which had been spurned by the hounds stationed at various segments of the palace. There was little in the Bayron vault that could occupy his body or mind. He had paced out the length and width of the enclosure time and time again, and tested every granite slab which consisted the walls of the prison, in hopes of finding a hidden passage to freedom, all of which was to no avail other than to keep him busy and distract his mind from wandering to thoughts of what he believed was his future. He had memorized the number of strides from one end to the other of the cell, and knew the exact number of slabs which made up the bleak dungeon. Numerous schemes were introduced and alternately discarded in turn, as they succored to unravel. they succored to unravel to him. What the fuck does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything. I have no idea.
He succored to unravel to him. You'll go.
Numerous schemes were introduced and alternately discarded in turn, as they succored to unravel to him no means of escape which stood the slightest chance of success. Anguish continued to mount as his means of occupation were rapidly exhausted. Suddenly, without notive, he was routed from his contemplations as he detected a faint scratching sound at the end of the crypt opposite him. Uh, the sound seemed to be caused by something trying to scrape away at the granite blocks the floor of the enclosure consisted of, the sandy scratching of something like an animal's claws.
Ran tight.
Grigner gradually groped his way to the other.
It was the word groped, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And as I said, it was grand tight, not granite.
Grand tight.
Right. Okay. Grigner gradually groped his way to the other end of the vault, carefully feeling his way along with his hands ahead of him. When a few inches from the wall, a loud, penetrating squeal and the scampering of small padded feet reverberated from the walls of the roughly hewn chamber. Grigner threw his hands up the... That was a... I saw a word from the freaking next sentence, and that made me giggle. Go on. Go ahead.
Gregner threw his hands up to shield his face and flung himself backwards upon his buttocks, the word that made Doot giggle. A fuzzy form bounded to his hairy chest, burying its talons in his flesh while gnashing towards his throat with its grinding white teeth, its sour, fetid breath scorching and squirming barbarian's dilating nostrils. Grigner grappled with the lashing flexor muscles of the repugnant body of a garganuan, uh, Garganuan.
Grigner grappled with the lashing flexor muscles of the repugnant body of a gargantuan brown-hided rat, striving to hold its razor teeth from his juicy jugular as its beady grey organs of sight gazed into the flaring emeralds of its prey. Taking hold of the rodent around its lean, growling stomach with both hands, Grigner pried it from his crimson-rent breast, removing small patches of flayed flesh from his chest in the motion between the squalid black claws of the starving beast. Holding the rodent at arm's length, he cupped his right hand over its frothing face, constricting his fingers into a vice-like fist over the quivering head. Retaining his grips on the rat, Grigner flexed his outstretched arms while slowly twisting his right hand clockwise and his left hand counterclockwise motion. The rodent let out a tortured squall, drawing scarlet as it violently dug its foam-flecked fangs into the barbarian's sweating palm, causing his face to contort to an ugly grimace as he cursed beneath his breath. With a loud crack, the rodent's head parted from its squirming torso, sending out a sprinkling shower of crimson gore and trailing a slimy string of disjointed vertebrae, snapped trachea, esophagus and jugular, disjointed hyoid bone, morose purple stretch hide, and blood-seared muscles. Flinging the broken body to the floor, Grigner shook his blood-streaked hands and wiped them against his thigh until dry, then wiped the blood that had showered his face and from his eyes. Again sitting himself upon the jagged floor, he prepared to once more revamp his glum meditations. He told himself that as long as he still breathed the gust of life through his lungs, hope was not lost. He told himself this, but found it hard to comprehend in his gloomy surroundings. Yet he was still alive, his bulging sinews at their peak of marvel, his struggling mind floating in a miral of impressed excellence of thought. Plot after plot sifted through his mind in energetic contemplations. Then it hit him. Minutes may have passed in silent thought, or days. He could not tell, but he stumbled at last upon a plan that he considered as holding a slight margin of plausibility. He might die in the attempt, but he knew he would not submit without a final, bloody struggle. It was not a foolproof plan, yet it built up a store of renewed vortexed energy in his overwrought soul. Though he might perish in the execution of the escape, he would still be escaping the life of infinite torture in store for him. Either way, he would still cheat the gloating prince of the succored revenge his sadistic mind craved so dearly. The guards would soon come to bear him off to the prince's buried mines of dread, giving him the sought-after opportunity to execute his newly formulated plan. Groping his way across the rough floor, Grigner finally found his tool in a pool of congealed gore, the carcass of the decapitated rodent, the tool that the very filth he had been sentenced to spawned. When the time came for action, he would have to be prepared, so he set himself to rending the sticky hulk in grim silence, searching by the touch of his fingertips for the lever to freedom. Chapter 5. Up to the altar and be done with it, wench, ordered a fidgeting shaman, as he gave the female a grim stare, accompanied by the wrinkling of his lips to a mirthful grin of delight. The girl burst into a slow, steady whimper, stooping shakily to her knees and cringing woefully from the priest, with both arms wound snake-like around the bulging jade shin rising before her scantily attired figure. Her face was redly inflamed from the salty flow of tears spouting from her glassy, dilated eyeballs. With short, heavy foot fouls... I was doing so well!
Bulging jade shin. With short, heavy footfalls, the priest approached the female, his piercing stare never wavering from her quivering young countenance. Halting before the terrified girl, he projected his arm outward and motioned her to arise with an upward movement of his hand. The girl's whimpering increased slightly, and she sunk closer to the floor rather than arising. The flickering torches outlined her trim build with a weird, ornate glow as it cast a ghostly shadow dancing in horrid waves of splendor over smoothly worn whiteness of the marble-hewn altar. The shaman's lips curled back farther, exposing a set of black and decaying molars, which transformed his slovenly grin into a wide, greasy arc of sadistic mirth, and alternately interposed into the female a strong sensation of stomach-curdling nausea. "Have it as you will, female," gloated the enhanced priest as he bent over at the waist, projecting his ape-like arms forward, and clasped the female's slender arms with his hairy, round fists. With an inward surge of his biceps, he harshly jerked the trembling girl to her feet and smothered her wet, salty cheeks with the moldy touch of his decrepit, dull red lips. The vile stench of the shaman's hot, fetid breath overcame the nauseated female with a deep, soul-searing sickness, causing her to wrench her head backwards and regurgitate a slimy, orange-white stream of swelling gore over the richly woven purple robe of the enthused acolyte. Ew. The priest's lips trembled with a malicious rage as he removed his callous paws from the girl's arms and replaced them with tightly around her undulating neck, shaking her violently to and fro. The girl gasped a tortured groan from her clamped lungs, her sea-blue eyes bulging forth from damp sockets. Cocking her right foot backwards, she leashed it desperately outwards with the strength of a demon possessed, lodging her sandaled foot squarely between the shaman's testicles. The startled priest releases his crushing grip, crimping his body over at the waist, overlooking his recessed belly, wide open in a deep chase him. His his face flushed to a rose-red shade of crimson, eyelids fluttering wide with eyeballs protruding blindly outwards from their sockets to their outmost perimeters, while his lips quivered wildly about allowing an agonized wallow to gust forth as his breath billowed from burning lungs. His hands reached out, clutching his urinary what the fuck? Clutching his urinary gland as his knees wobbled rapidly for about a few seconds, then buckled, causing the ruptured shaman to collapse in an egg-huddled mass to the granite pavement, rolling helplessly about in agony. The pathetic screeches of the shaman groveling in dejected misery upon the hand-hewn granite-laid pavement, worn smooth by countless hours of arduous set and toil, a welter of ichor oozing through his clenched hands, attracted the perturbed attention of his comrades from their foetulations. What?
Good grief.
What in the world is going on?
Indeed. Okay, my go. A welter of ichor oozing through his clenched hands attracted the perturbed attention of his comrades from their fetid ulations. The actions of this rebellious wench bespoke the credence of an unheard sacrilege. Never before in a lost maze of untold eons had a chosen one dared to demonstrate such blasphemy in the face of the cult's idolic deity. The girl cowered in unreasoning terror, helpless in the face of the emblazoned acolyte's rage. Her orchid-tussled face smothered betwixt her betwixt her bulging bosom. Oh no! Oh good grief! Oh good
Ugh,
grief! Okay.
who writes this shit? Her
Who
orchid
does?
tousled face smothered betwixt her bulging bosom as she shut her curled lash tightly, hoping to open them and find herself awakening from a morbid nightmare. Yet at the hand of destiny decreed her no such mercy. The antagonized pack of leering shaman converging tensely upon her prostrate form were entangled all too lividly in the grim web of reality. Shuddering from the clammy touch of the shaman as they grappled with her supple form, hands wrenching at her slender arms and legs in all directions, her bare body being molested in the midst of a labyrinth of orange smudges, purple satin, and mangled skulls, shadowed in an eerie crimson glow, her confused head reeled, then clouded in a mist of enshrouding ebony as she lapsed beneath the protective sheet of unconsciousness to a land peach and resign. Chapter 6. Take hold of this rope, said the first soldier, and climb out from your pit, slut. Your presence is requested in another far deeper hellhole. The one he's in isn't deep enough, and that's why they're taking him out?
Now you're laughing. Luchable, this is the Eye of Argon, possibly one of the worst stories ever written, and we're trying to read it as much as we can without laughing. Okay, here I go. Grigner slipped his right hand to his thigh, concealing a small opaque object beneath the folds of the G-string. G-string? What the fuck? Why is he wearing a G-string now?
Hey, damn Daniel, how's it going?
Damn Daniel, how you doing? We're reading the Eye of Argon and we're being slow. I think our lungs are about to jump out of our chests.
Brine wells swelled in Grigner's cold, jade-squinting eyes, which, grown accustomed to the gloom of the Stygian pools of ebony engulfing him, were bedazzled.
Did something else catch you there, Wherg? What caught you?
Bedazzled.
Why bedazzled?
Well, because that means you put like glitter and little jewels on your jeans. Like that's what that means to
I
me.
guess. Brian Wells swelled in Grigner's
I don't know.
cold,
That's why it
jade-squinting
got
eyes.
me.
which, grown accustomed to the gloom of the Stygian pools of ebony engulfing him, were bedazzled and blinded by flickering radiance cast forth by this. Flickering, I think, got me there.
Were
Flickering.
bedazzled and blinded by flickering radiance cast forth by the second soldier's resin torch. Tightly gripped in the second soldier's right hand, opposite the intermittent torch, was a large double-edged axe, a long leather wound, oaken handled, transfixing the center of the weapon's iron head. Adorning the torsos of both of the sentries were thin yet sturdy hauberks, the breate plates of which were woven tightly hemmed twines of reinforced silver braiding. Cupping the soldiers' feet were thick leather sandals, wounding about their shins to about 2 inches below their knees. Wrapped around their waists were wide satin girdles with slender bladed poniards dangling loosely from them, the hilts of which featured scarlet encrusted gems. Resting upon the manes of their heads and reaching midway to their brows were smooth copper morions. Spiraling the lower portion of the helmet were short, upcurved silver spikes, while a golden hump spiraled from the top of each bassinet. Beneath their chins, wound around their necks and draping their clad shoulders, dangled regal purple satin coats, which flowed midway to the soldiers' feet. Hand over hand, feet braced against the dank walls of the enclosure. Huge Grignar ascended from the moldering depths of the forlorn abyss, his swelled limbs stiff due to the boredom of a timeless inactivity, compounded by the musty atmosphere and jagged granite protuberant. These aren't real words.
Indeed. Like, what's going on? Okay.
I don't know. It's hard when the words aren't real.
Okay. Compounded by the musty atmosphere and jagged granite protuberant. Protuberant. It got me too. Protuberant. Okay. I mean, slovenly is definitely a word, but protuberant is not. Struvelventer. Definitely. Go, your go again, work.
Okay. Okay. Protuberant against his body craved for action. The opportunity now presenting itself served the purpose of oiling his rusty joints and honing his dulled senses. He braced himself, facing the second soldier. The sentry's stature was wildly exaggerated in the glare of the flickering crescent cuppix in his right fist. His eyes were wide open in a slightly slanted owlish glaze, I should say, enhanced in their sinister intensity by the hawk-bill curve of his nose and pale yellow peak of his cheeks. Place your hands behind your back, said the second soldier as he raised his axe over his right shoulder blade and cast it a wavering glance. We must bind your wrists to parry any attempts at escape. Be sure to make the knot a stout one, Broig. We wouldn't want our guests to take leave of our guidance. Broig grasped Grignar's left wrist and reached for the barbarian's right wrist. Grignar wrenched his right arm free and swivel it. I swear, he hasn't written this word right one time.
That's a laugh. All right, here we go. Broig grasped Grignar's left wrist and reached for the barbarian's right wrist. Grignar wrenched his right arm free and swiveled to face Broig, reach beneath his loincloth with his right hand. The sentry grappled at his girdle. Why is he wearing a girdle?
They all are.
Apparently. So is this a sex dungeon as well?
It might be. It kind of sounds like it.
It probably is. Right, you'll go.
It's just a little more, dungeon-esque than most of them. The sentry grappled at his girdle for his sheathed dagger, but recoiled short of his intentions as Grignar's right arm swept to his gorge. The soldier went limp, his bobbing eyes rolling beneath fluttering eyelids, a deep welt across his spouting gullet. Without lingering to observe the result of his efforts, Grignar dropped to his knees. The second soldier's axe cleft over Grignar's head in a bulls of silvered ferocity, severing several scarlet locks from his scalp. coming to rest in his fellow's stomach. The iron head crashed through mail and flesh with splintering force, spilling a pool of crimson entrails over the granite paving. Before the sentry could wrench his axe free from his comrade's carcass, he found Grigner's massive hands clasped around his throat, choking the life from his clamped lungs. With a zealous grunt, the accordion flexed his tightly corded biceps, forcing the grim-faced soldier to one knee. The sentry plunged his right fist into Grigner's face, digging his grimy nails in the barbarian's flesh. Ejaculating a curse through rasping teeth, Grigner surged the bulk of his weight forward, bowling the besieged soldier over on his back, upon his back, I should say. The sentry's arms collapsed to his thigh, shuddering convulsively, his bulging eyes staring blindly from a bloated cherry-red face. Rising to his feet, Grigner shook the
Okay. Tis the go of me again. Rising to his feet, Grigner shook the blood from. Okay, you're going again, apparently. Okay.
Rising to his feet, Grigner shook the blelod from his eyes, ruffling his surly red mane as a brush fire. What?
That was a giggle. What was that?
That was me.
Okay. Okay. Ruffling his surly red mane as a brushfire swaying to the nighttime breeze. Stooping over the sprawled corpse of the first soldier, Grigner retrieved a small white object from a pool of congealing gore. Snorting a gusty billow of mirth, he once more concealed the tiny object beneath his loincloth, the tediously honed pelvis bone of the broken rodent. Returning his attention toward the second soldier, Grigner turned to the task of attiring his limbs. To move about freely through the dim recesses of the castle would require the grotesque garb of its soldiery. Utilizing the silence and stealth acquired in the untamed climes of his childhood, Grigner slinked through the twisting corridors and winding stairways, lighting his way with the confiscated. Confiscated. What the fuck? Another completely stupid word.
He's just making these up.
Yeah, confiscated.
Can someone look that up and see if that's a real word? I don't think it is. But I think he's trying to say confiscated.
Yeah, I think so.
Confiscated. All right. Lighting his way with the confiscated torch of his dispatched guardian. Knowing where his steps were leading to, Grigner meandered aimlessly in search of an meandered aimlessly in search of an exit from the chateau's dim confines. The wild blood coursing through his veins yearned for the undefiled freedom of the livid wilderness lands. Coming upon a fork in the passage, he shrieked. Voices accompanied by clinking footfalls discerned to his sensitive ears from the left corner. Wishing to avoid contact, Grigner veered to the right passageway. If quested as to the purpose of his presence, his barbarous accent would reveal his identity, being that his attire was not that of the castle's mercenary troops. In grim silence, Grigner treaded down the dingily lit corridor, a stalking panther creeping warily along on padded feet. After an interminable period of walking through the dull corridors, no gaps to break the monotony of the cold gray walls, Grigner espied a small winding stairway. Descending the flight of arched granite slabs to their posterior, Grigner was confronted by a short hallway leading to the tall arched doorway.
Did hallway get you?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Descending the flight of arced granite slabs, their posterior. I didn't even get that part. Their posterior. How? Posterior. Fuck. Oh my. Good grief.
Hallway.
Okay. Your go.
All right. Let's see. Descending the descending the flight of arced granite slabs to their posterior, Grigner was confronted by a short hallway leading to a tall arched wooden doorway. Halting before the teeming portal.
Okay. Okay. Right.
I
Okay.
love when it's just two of the same word.
Halting before the teeming portal, Grigner rested his shaggy head sideways against the barrier. Detecting no sounds from within, he grasped the loot metal handle of the door, his arms surging with a tremendous effort of his bulging muscles, yet the door would not budge. Retrieving his axe from where he had sheathed it beneath his girdle, he hefted it in his mighty hands with an apiced grunt? A pised grunt, and wedging one of its blackened edges into the crack between the portal and its iron-rimed sill, iron-rimed sill even. Bracing his sandaled right foot against the rugily hewn wall, teeth tightly clenched, Grigner apple-levered the oaken haft, employing it as a lever whereby to pry open the barrier. I was holding that in. I was trying not to laugh, but I was holding that in.
Apple levered.
Apple-levered.
It's like a mix between applied and levered.
Yes. We've only got 7 more minutes before Jackbox, so we best try and get as far as we can.
Oh, certainly. um, the leather-wound hilt bending to its utmost limits of endurance, the massive portal swung open with a grating of snapped latch and rusty iron hinges. Glancing about the dust-swirled room in the gloomily dancing glare of his flickering cresset, Gregner eyed evidences of the enclosure being nothing more than a forgotten storeroom. Miscellaneous articles required for the maintenance of a castle were piled in disorganized heaps at infrequent intervals towards the wall opposite the barbarian's piercing stare. Utilizing long, bounding strides, Grigner paced his way over to the mounds of supplies to discover if any articles of value were contained within their midst. Detecting a faint clinking sound, Grigner sprawled to his left side with the speed of a striking cobra, landing harshly upon his back, torch and axe loudly clattering to the floor in a morass of spark and flame. The elm-woven board, a elm-woven board leaped from collapsed flooring, clashing against the jagged flooring and spewing a shower of orange and yellow sparks over at Grigner's startled face. Rising uneasily to his feet, the half-stunned accordion glared down at the gruesome arm of death he had unwittingly sprung. Mrifk! If not for his keen auditory organs and lighting steeled reflexes, Grigner would have been groping through the shadowed hell pits of the Grim Reaper. He had unknowingly stumbled upon an ancient, long-forgotten booby trap, a mistake which would have stunted the perusal of longevity.
Stunted the perusal of longevity. Okay. He had unknowingly stumbled upon an ancient, long forgotten booby trap, a mistake which would have stunted the perusal of longevity. Okay, 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 right. Oh, go. Mm.
He had unknowingly stumbled upon an ancient, long-forgotten booby trap, a mistake which was stunted the perusal of longevity of one less agile. A mechanism similar in type to that of a miniature catapult was concealed beneath two collapsible sections of granite flooring. The arm of the device was 4 feet long, boasting razor-like cleats at regular intervals along its face, with which it was to skewer the luckless body of its would-be victim. Grignor had stepped upon a concealed catch which released. Uh,
and I've just noticed one that I missed. It said long forgaton, as in forgaton Anne.
oh.
I missed that one too. It's like, here we go. Okay, right. Grigno had stepped upon a concealed catch which relased a small metal hatch beneath the two granite sections, causing them to fall inward and thereby loose the spiked arm of death they precariously held in. Partially out of curiosity, and partially out of an inordinate fear of becoming a pincushion for a possible second trap, Grigner plunged his torch into the exposed gap in the floor. The floor of a second chamber stood out 7 feet below the glare. Tossing his torch through the aperture, Grigner grasped the side of an adjoining tile, dropping down. Glancing about the room, Grigner discovered that he had descended into the palace's mausoleum. Rectangular stone crypts cluttered the floor at evenly placed intervals. The tops of the enclosures were plated with thick layers of virgin gold, while the sides were plated with white ivory, at one time sparkling, but now grown dingy through the passage of the rays of all-encompassing Mother Time. How come the gold is virgin, but the ivory is grown dingy? That doesn't really make that much sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Featured at the head of each sarcophagus in tarnished silver was an expugnatively carved likeness of its rotting inhabitant. A dingy atmosphere pervaded the air of the chamber, which, sealed in the enclosure for an unknown period, had grown thick and stale. Intermingling with the curdled currents was the repugnant stench of slowly mouldering flesh, creeping ever slowly but surely through minute cracks in the numerous vaults. Due to the embalming of the bodies, their flesh decayed at a much slower rate than is normal, yet the nauseous odour was nonetheless repellent. Towering over Grigner's head was the trap he released. The mechanism of the miniaturized catapult was cluttered with mildew and cobwebs. Notwithstanding these relics of antiquity, it sufficiently remained unimpinged. To the right of the trap wound a short stairway through a recess in the ceiling, a concealed entrance leading to the mausoleum for which the catapult had obviously been erected as a silent, relentless guardian. Climbing up the side of the device, Grigner set to the task of resetting its mechanism. In the event that a search was organised, it would prove well to leave no evidence of his presence open to wandering eyes. Besides, it might even serve to dwindle the size of an opposing force. Descending from his perch, Grigner was startled by a faintly muffled scream of horrified desperation. His hair prickled Yorkishly in disorganised clumps along his scalp, as a cold danced along the length of his spinal cord. No moral/mortal barrier, human or otherwise, was capable of arousing the numbing sensation of fear inside of Grigner's smouldering soul. However, he was overwrought by the forces of the barbarian's instinctive fear of the supernatural. His mighty thews had always served to adequately conquer any tangible foe, but the intangible was something distant and terrible. Dim, horrifying tales passed by word of mouth over glimmering campfires and skins of wine had more than once served the purpose of chilling the marrowed core of his sturdy-limbed bones. Yet the scream contained a strangely human quality, unlike that which Grigner imagined would come from the lungs of a demon or spirit, making Grigner take short, nervous strides, advancing to the sarcophagus from which the sound was issuing. Clenching his teeth in an attempt to steel his jangled nerves, Grigner slid the engraved slab from the vault with a sharp rasp of grinding stone. Another long-drawn cry of terror infested anguish met the barbarian, scoring like the shrill piping of a demented banshee, piercing the inner fibres of his superstitious brain with primitive dread and awe. Stooping over to espy the tomb's contents, the glittering accordion's nostrils were singed by the scorching aroma of a mouldering corpse, long shut up and fermenting, the same putrid scent which permeated the entire chamber, though multiplied to a much more concentrated dosage. The shriveled, leathery packet of crumbling bones and dried, flacking flesh offered no resistance, but remained in a fixed position of perpetual vigilance, watching over its dim abode from hollow, gaping sockets. The tortured crease were not coming from the tomb, but from some hidden depth below. Pulling the reacking corpse from its resting place, Grigner tossed it to the floor in a broken, mangled heap. Upon one side of the crypt's bottom was attached a series of tiny hinges, while running parallel along the opposite side of a convex railing like protuberance, lying so as to appear as a part of the interior surface of the sarcophagus. Raising the slab upon its bronze hinges, long removed from the gaze of human eyes, Grigner perceived a scene which caused his blood to smoulder, not unlike bubbling, molting lava. Directly below him, a whimpering female lay stretched upon a smooth surfaced marble altar. A pack of grassy faced shaman clustered around her in a tight circular formation. Crouched over the girl was a tall, pot bellied priest, his face dominated by a disgusting, open mouthed grimace of sadistic glee. Suspended from the acolyte's clenched right hand was a carven oval faced mallet, which he waved menacingly over the girl's shadowed face, an incoherent gibberish flowing from his grinning, thick lipped mouth. In the face of the amorphous, broad breeted breets! Breeted! And,
Breeds.
and now it's 9:32. I'm just going to copy that particular bit just so that I can see, know, like, when, if ever we decide to do this again, when to do that.
Yeah, I'm actually quite enjoying this.
We should do this again someday.
I'm
Anyway, I shall
We
swap into.
should. I'm interested to see what happens next in this nonsensical story.
Indeed. So I'll switch over to the regular stream thing.
Okay.
I need to fix the chat box because it's gone incredibly long. It has become log
Okay.
apparently. Transform. Edit transform. Right.
I'll be back in just a minute. I just need to stretch my legs for a minute, and I'll
Yeah.
be right back.
All right. In the meantime, whilst Wherg is gone, I shall go ahead and recrop the chat box. Oh, and then also place Wherg right next to me. Because that's where Wherg belongs. Right next to me. Chat has not been contaminated enough. Clearly, you guys tried to escape your jail. Naughty, naughty. I sure hope you don't try and do that again. So, right cropping. Actually, better already. I might just change the resolution. That might make things a bit easier. Oh, hang on. Now it's disappeared entirely. Now I need to change the transformation again. Again. Now, transform, edit. Crop the bottom. Like so. Top, like so. Little more at the top, and right, I think that should do it. That's better. Because everyone else did, I stayed in my cell like a good and honest boy. I'm sure you did, Green Guy. I'm sure you did. Right. If I remember rightly, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Survive the Internet, but I'll check. Yeah, it was Survive the Internet. So, Survive the Internet it shall be. I keep forgetting to use Jack's truck. I'll try that next time. Hang on a second. I am singing the Looking for Jackbox song. Here it is. Here is Survive the Internet. Steam is not open. Yet. It is time to jack a box or two. Since I overran by about 2 minutes, we'll go to 10:32. Here we go. Bless you too to hide the room code. 6 minutes now, including fiddling with the chat box. Okay. Leo and the code to work. She returns, she can.
Alright, I'm back.
Wherg hath returneth! Hooray! Hurrah!
That's right.
Yes.
What are we playing?
We're playing Survive the Internet.
Oh, excellent. I love that one.
And whilst you join, I shall bury my face in your hair.
Okay.
Can you blame me? It's soft.
Alright, I've joined.
As green guy, apparently.
Yeah, that's who I want to be.
Oh yeah, I need to change the all count, because I only got one during the game. Let's do this. 8 yaws. Yes, I yawed 8 times. As opposed to pitching or what's the other thing that planes do other than pitching and yawing?
3, 2, 1.
I've never heard these words.
We got a full game.
I don't know.
Wow, I feel like I should have a check
Rather
mark
than
next to my
thinking
name.
about it, I'm just going to bury my
Don't
face
forget
in your
you can
hair
join
again.
the audience at any time. If enough people do it,
Okay.
maybe we can break the internet. All right, prepare for
Wherg.org.
liftoff.
I mean, can you blame me? Seriously. Can you blame me for wanting to do
Wait,
that?
why are we... no, that's
Hi,
normal.
I'm your
What's
host,
not
Todd.
normal is that we're
And yes, that rhymes
taxidermizing
with
Mins
bod.
and Mons.
So feel free to call me Todd the Bod.
What?
Before we
Why?
begin, check out this quick tutorial.
Hey
Looks like I
guys,
need
what's
to-
up? It's Partyboy7 here to teach you how to play Survive the Internet. So in each round, you'll get a prompt on your device. Go ahead and answer it. Those responses will then be sent to another player. The objective is to twist these words in the most ridiculous
Okay,
way
I've-
possible. So if my
I'm fiddling
friend
with the
Paul
volume
said
mixer to
selfie
see-
sticks
to
are,
make it so that
quote,
we can play the
super
game
dumb, then I
and
would
also
take
hear
that out of
Wherg.
context. Say we're on a news site. Their super dumb would be an outrageous comment to what headline?
Can we still...
I
Hello,
got it.
hello.
Everybody then
Can we
votes
still hear
on
both
whose
the game
comment
and
looks
Wherg?
the most absurd. I get
Hi,
rewarded
my
for
name
writing
is
the
Wherg.
twist,
I
and
just
Paul
read a
gets some
bunch of
pity points for
Grinrear
looking
stuff.
foolish. The person with the most points at the end of the game wins.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please. I feel so empty inside.
Let's start things off at a video site. So you should be seeing a prompt on your controller. There are no wrong answers, so just answer honestly.
Kangaroos. Why are we taxidermizing people? Dude, can you say something?
Jeez.
Okay, good. I had to unplug and then replug my headphones, so I just wanted to make sure I could still hear you.
Here we go. Finally, I've got my answer in. Rather,
You're
my
getting another player's answer on your device. Take these words out of context in the most ridiculous way you can.
Hey, has anyone in chat ever read Struva Pita?
Yes, has anyone in chat ever read that?
I really like the Struva Pita.
Yes. That is a very good thing.
Have you read it too?
Bits.
Oh, okay. I see.
And I've certainly read You Should the Defender's Rewrite.
Mm-hmm. I'm basing it off of a friend of mine who is German and
Do you
who
regret
has
your decisions?
read the book.
It's too late now.
And that's how he told me to pronounce it. You know, given that he is a native German in Germany, I'm gonna trust him on it.
You're completely
Like,
right.
I get it if you
Wherg
can't,
is
but
the
if you
cutest
won't,
kitty
why
in
not? It's
existence.
so little effort. Beating up orphans! Oh,
Which, as a matter of fact, I also have screenshots of
that's...
Wherg. Give me a sec.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. You should be able to see now. Without having to look at the stream.
Yeah, thank you.
Gosh darn Struvel kids! Jim's first time at the zoo. Oh dear. He's the true dough. Pizza Head do yitter.
What?
You can't have your cake and eat it. Having sex with myself, I like doing it! Once with that Neil Cicerega lyric.
Who looks the most
You can't
ridiculous
smell
here?
the
Place your
forest
vote now.
or the trees. You can't smell your own knees. You love that line. You heard that
But you
song?
can smell your own knees. No.
No, you haven't heard that song.
I haven't heard it. That was you. Cat
It's-
Defender.
It's Ribs by Neil Cicerega. That's just looking up. It's fun.
Here's what people think. Let's see what the audience thought. Here's who burned you.
Oh my.
Some points for them. And you, the victim, get some pity points.
Just casually giving
Holy
myself pity points.
mackerel.
I'm not the only person in the entire universe that can spell Neil Cicerega without help, says Cyrix. Good for you.
Let's see where
Good
everyone
for
stands
you.
at the moment. Great. Now let's go to a news site.
Yawn.
You're getting another prompt. Go ahead and be candid. This is our safe space.
Hello. Sorry, my headset disconnected.
It's okay. It happens.
Hello.
Hello.
I was scared. I'm not Struvel 2.0. I'm Wherg.
Indeed, Wherg is Wherg. Don't try and
Yeah.
label the Wherg.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what you're
Deuterium
working with.
pizza.
Do your worst.
Yes. Go. Your favourite song by Neil Sedgwick is either Word Dissociation, Crocodile Chop, or Space Monkey Mafia. I like Just a Baby. That one's pretty funny. I'm trying to think of other ones I like. I like Ribs. I like Just a Baby. I like Wonderful. Oh, and Ballspin. That's another fun one. And who could forget Bustin'? I think that was a separate video before it was ever on any of his albums. Like, have you seen the Bustin' video?
I believe I have. Yes.
Bustin', 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 bustin'. That one.
Ready or not, here we go.
Bustin' sure makes him feel good.
Every single website, everywhere. Just don't listen to them anymore. They're all marketing busters to get you to vote. Okay. Lots of people have sex on this day. World Remembrance of AIDS Day! Oh no!
How to celebrate it.
No, it's not a singed for the defender, not at all. Do they have good brothels? Actually, forget that. The pizza probably better. NYC is the best place to be. Okay. I treated myself to a heavy lunch. TLC makes spin-off called my 600-pound life called my 1-pound life. Oh dear. Can we not talk about this man? Nobody likes him anymore. Bye, 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 bye. Deuterium the Sentient Mattress hits 1 million subscribers.
That's so mean.
Why do you have to have terrible taste in books? Mein Kampf, the evil things he wrote. Okay.
Terrible taste in books. That's.
I hate you. Could you explain
Not
why I
wrong.
hate you? I have 2 nipples and one of them isn't attached to my chest. What the hell? What the heck? What the fuck? You're entitled to your own opinion. The deaths of Struvelbit are actually not real according to Struvel Defender. Oh my.
You're entitled to your own opinion. Ooh, I like that one a lot, actually. That one is really good.
Let's see who ends up winning. But I have 2 nipples and one of them isn't attached to my chest. What the fuck?
I wrote that one. Did you like it?
I can somehow tell that it was you.
Well,
Ouch.
you didn't answer. Did you like it?
It was funny. It was very funny.
Let's see who got the points.
Yeah, the World Remembrance of AIDS Day one smashed it.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Oof.
Best burn.
Let's see what that round did to things.
Devil Rat is up there. Green guy
At
was
least
the
I'm doing better
sudsiest.
than the fake green
Hey, I
guy.
have an idea. Let's go to a
Green guy was the sudsiest.
crowdfunding site. It's time to answer another prompt. I'd like you to really listen to your heart this time.
Sussiest. But still, sudsiest. That's we've got that sounds like something you'd like. It sounds like the sort of word that you'd come up with on Countdown, for like a 9-letter. Sudsiest. It's an 8-letter word. Sudsiest. Is that a word?
I think so. Sudsiest.
Sudsiest. Yep, it's in the free dictionary. Sudsiest.
Come on, baby. Let's do the twist.
One day I'm going to go on Countdown and remember that word.
Sorry, my dad came in. Wanted to tell me that there's pork in the fridge. That's all he wanted to tell me.
As the actress said to the bishop.
No. Actually, it was really good pork, but it was from a couple days ago. He didn't want it to go bad.
Let's see how this pans out.
It was really good pork, as the actress said to the bishop.
Shut up. The Death Burger. Onions are too far.
They suck so bad they don't deserve good things. Please, please support Claudia Minson Mounts. Struvel Defender. Was that you? There's too bloody many of them! Can you give me money for my trip to Mallorca, please? Donations are appreciated. Is that Mallorca or Mallorca? I don't know how to pronounce it. Is there a different... And Mallorca's the one with the J in, is it? They're okay. I'm one of them too. This is a stupid question, by the way. People who lick dogs, can they be stopped? By a crowdfunding campaign? It's so good! Gay conversion therapy to help people so no! Oh no!
It's so
Ich kann die Suppe
good.
nicht mehr sehen, ich will lieber spielen gehen. Exterminate all German speakers charity. Oh no! It's so boring and so hard. I want to fuck it so badly. Bless you, 3 fundraise! Fuck you, I'll eat as much as I want. Real life Soylent Green. Solving the population crisis the easy way. I Void Whitey. I hope somebody gets that one.
Alright, let's get those votes in.
And votes in. Boys and girls and non-binary pals. What's a bless you 3? The third incarnation of the blessings robot, I imagine.
And here
What's
are
the
results.
blessings robot?
Bless you 2. It hides the room code. It's a real
Oh,
thing.
okay.
It's a real thing. It is a robot that gives blessings. And it is the most ridiculous thing I've seen in my
Oh,
life.
gravy.
Orfla Buxter. Is that what that says? Bless you 1. Where he at, guys?
Let's check the scoreboard.
Yeah. For some reason you need to disconnect and reconnect to vote. That's strange.
We only have time for one more, so let's end it at a photo sharing site. And points are worth double this round.
You stole my wallet.
right, here's your
Quite
last
as well as Miss
prompt.
Lovett's Pies for
You know what to
population
do.
control. Is that a Sweeney Todd reference? Olaf Baxter. Oh, Ofla Baxter. Okay. I presumed it was some kind of Icelandic thing.
It's time to take the gloves off. Really go for it this time.
Warning, high blood pressure runs in your family. Okay. I thought that said ruins your family for a second. Has your family ever been ruined by high blood pressure? Your answer goes out to Byakuya. Bleach fan? Back when I was in high school, high school / sixth form, I tried to get all the way through Bleach. I think I gave up sort of partway into the beginning of the Arankar arc. Not Bleach. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see how you've grown as writers.
Shady Motel, the world's best motel for hiding murder victims. You still there, Wherg?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. Trying to hide from the dicing robots. Please
Okay.
help me. Zelrat. Please, this is too hard. Can't stop nuts. Oh no!
No!
Olaf Baxter. See? They could be both cute and tasty. Well, to be fair, they kind of can.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Pizza. Guys, does it look obvious that my nan's ashes are in this pizza I made for my dear grandpa? That got worse! That got worse the more I read! That got worse the more I read! Good grief! I licked a dog here. I don't know how to fit a cadaver in here. Any ideas, guys? I used to live here 400 years ago. I remember I would have sex with the wooden bench.
What?
Okay.
It's voting time.
It's got to be the Nan's Ashes one.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was amazing.
I just had a vision of an American calling their grandmother Nan, and it sounded so weird in my mind. Do you know anyone outside of the UK that calls their grandmother
Well-
Nan?
Let's see how everybody voted.
Well, I've heard Nana. I've never heard Nan.
Yeah, I suppose I've heard Nana and Nonna from America, but I've never heard just Nan.
Dang, you got played, son.
Yeah.
Just Nan seems to be an exclusively British thing. Yeah,
Man,
Nan.
It all comes
Indeed.
down to this.
Oh no!
The winner is
Oh,
Green
no.
Guh. Green Guh.
Hey, you know, that's real. I think you really did something today here. Nice.
What was the best burger? Okay, green guy, what's our next game? What is our game? Have a little game of, says Green Guy. Job. Sounds good to me.
Oh, I love Job. I wasn't gonna say it, but I was really hoping you were gonna pick Job.
Hey. Actually, no. What are you picking, Green Guy, if not Job?
No,
No?
no, no.
Actually, he's. Yes. Oh, actually, yes. Okay. So, yes, Job it is.
Actually, he's.
Yes. I'm just going to take your first answer, Green Guy. Let's just do Job. Oh, you thought you got the game name wrong. What did you think it was called? Let's see, two, hide that room code. The one with the water lad. It's not a water lad, it's a water NB.
I don't care which of you gets hired. I'm not validating anyone's parking.
Oh, that's the blessing robot. Okay, I understand
Yeah,
now.
that was it. I'm pretty
That's
sure Green Guy clipped when he first appeared. Dude, real? Oh, you! Oh, you! Oh, you!
Are you gonna screen share this one too?
Oh, yes, hang on. Ooh, ooh.
Dude,
There we go.
real. I'm the real dude.
You may laugh, but now you have locked yourself into something. You will now have to take over my stream at least once in the next year
Oh no!
to prove that you are
I'm
in fact
the
the real
dude.
me. I need to start from the device, don't I?
Oh, it doesn't seem loading.
That one, I guess.
Oh, there we go. It's
Okay.
working now.
2, 1.
Welcome,
You have
potential
a file called
hires.
homework.png and it
We're thrilled
contains
you applied for this
scary.
exciting employment opportunity.
Okay.
If you haven't guessed, I'm the boss around here, but I like to think of myself more as a buddy. A boss buddy. Water?
I'm now imagining a real Slim Shady parody, but the real Deuterium.
I can tell you're all great candidates. Unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of you. and
Deuterium
only
the
one
cute
job.
mattress.
It's
The cutest
incredibly
mattress.
stressful. For me. That's why I developed a revolutionary new hiring process. I'm going to interview you all at once and force you to judge each other. Whew, I feel more relaxed already. Deborah, clear my calendar. It's time to get to know our candidates.
Deuterium?
My first rule of management, make sure employees feel prepared. So prepare yourself for some questions happening right now. Let's go. I'm
Wherg
gonna
the
send some
self-aware
unscripted
throw pillow.
questions to your device. Answer
I
them
like
in
self-aware- Self-aware body pillow.
Except this one rule. You gotta use at least 5 words, okay? If you're no good at
Because you are
chit-chat,
cuddly.
you're no good to me. That's my first rule of management.
That's true.
Internet disconnected and you can't answer. You'll... Can you reconnect, Nicholas? Boy, do I tell you, the Mega Minx!
Unacceptable.
You should hurry. Time's running out.
Your
Yeah,
ears?
got mine
What's
in,
wrong
just-
with your ears?
What about yours?
I don't know. Lucy in the Sky with Diamond 69 says, my ears,
All right, now we'll
sad
just file
face.
your answers.
Oh dear.
I'm waiting for Deut and, oh, never mind.
You should
Now that
put
we're
to
all
see on the
friends, I'm sending my first
screen share.
incisive interview questions to your device. But instead of typing your responses, you'll be using words from your fellow interviewees to answer the questions. Not bad, right? Tap any word you see to add it to your response. If you
It's
make
time
a
for the
mistake,
Persona 3
tap
thing.
the word again to remove it. You can also drag words around to rearrange them. Can't find the right
I give a
words
baby
for what
this
you want to
butter.
say? Then say something different, I guess. The first rule of management is just make
Baby,
it work
baby,
already.
baby, 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 baby. Every time that happens, I have to do the. I've got a terrible one.
Mine are just really dumb. Who's Russell Crowe?
Um.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, I was
It's
just like
Gladiator.
harassing Russell Crowe in my answers for no real
Okay.
reason.
Okay.
I'm here to inform you that you've used half of your time.
I'm gonna have to apologise to you, Wherg, for my answers.
Oh no.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Well, to be fair, I
Shall
have
we
to
check
apologize to
out?
Russell Crowe,
What are you
so...
looking for in terms of employee benefits?
Thanks. Russell Crowe and Russell Crowe and Russell Crowe and Russell Crowe and
As a test,
I don't know. NASA also made ADHD medicine.
your
Alcohol.
devices Cool. Using words from 3 different people is worth a bonus.
Bad combination of words. to be
Where
honest.
would you like to go for the company retreat?
fuck Wherg continuously for 55 hours, or sacrilegious gorilla to fuck from Animal Crossing. Dang, the employees of this
Oh my
company are
God.
heckin' randy.
Dear Lord. 55 hours straight. Dude!
I'm sorry.
Give me one more
I'm
reason why I
sorry.
should not
I'm
hire.
sorry. I'm sorry.
My dog ate a green pepper and chat ass shit, or I would haunt Russell Crowe.
The employees are down horrendous. That's for you. For Wherg and gorillas, apparently. I'm
I don't know
sorry,
if I
Dan
should
Daniel.
flatter or not.
It just sprung to mind. I saw what I had. But who would be fucking Wherg for 55 hours? Only I have that right.
That could be seen as a
And
strength.
I choose not to exercise it. Of anything crossing less life from
crossing
your
less
sake,
life from
dude,
your-
book get. I'd fuck Wherg. No! No, you're not allowed. Only I'm allowed, and I choose not to.
Green guy!
How do you turn things around when you feel like giving up?
I cosplay Rhythm Heaven Fever, or I believe in Wherg boobies, and I'm not even a green guy! Good grief, Wherg, you can't catch a break today! I feel bad now! Oh
You know you're too sick to come into work.
no! No! Oh no! When I grab Wherg dick!
What does leadership mean to you?
It's like Deuterium the Sentient Mattress, and I talk like
dude. I
dude.
talk like dude.
Leadership mean plenty
Leadership
of
means
back.
Plenty of back.
Nino Marionanis. That's just Nino Marionanis right there. The words I got were either swears, people, punctuation, or numbers, says Sirit.
Words. You can use almost any text on your device in your answers. How do you like to be managed?
I like to be managed by Wherg, or
Like to
I
be
want
managed
Wherg
by
ass.
work.
I want Wherg ass. Oh, good grief, Wherg can't catch a break today! Is this about girls? Says Senor Earth.
Wherg #1 fan. Who's that?
About working over
Everyone
I
here
don't
is
know
a
who my
simp
number
for
one
Wherg's is real.
I like overtime.
I like overtime and duck.
Alright. I value working overtime on weekends.
Mm-hmm. No, Wherg #1 fan is not the truest name ever because I am Wherg's #1 fan.
Describe your ideal retirement.
Take my focus into the everywhere. Stinky cat with alcohol bottles. Or, I like to have bigger crabs! Well, I guess if you have enough sex.
I'd like to have bigger crabs.
Well done. Let's see who's on their way to the top.
Sorry I keep joking around, chads, because I have to keep running over to my bedside to grab snacks.
You can't argue with the numbers. Believe me, I've tried.
I feel like I should be in
Let's
first
do some
place
more
just
icebreakers.
because every prompt is about me
Okay,
apparently.
just like before.
Your first
Say
place in
anything
our
you want, but
hearts,
be
Wherg.
descriptive. The more you write, the less time I have to spend alone with my thoughts.
Bigger crabs means more crab beast gay, says Strubel Defender. Not that kind of crabs.
Stevens, where's the private bidet I ordered? Ew, that's what a bidet is? Never mind.
I was expecting you to be more savage on Russell Crowe, to be
Hey,
honest.
you,
Wherg.
you're halfway through the time.
Russell Crowe and Russell Crowe and Russell Crowe and Russell Crowe. I will haunt Russell Crowe. Family, we are in animals together.
Oh dear. Get out of those animals. Intuition,
Oh.
strength in airplanes. Basically, if Wherg were to birth
This
you a
counts as your
child, what would you name
orientation,
it?
by the way.
Depends on if it's
Round two
a boy or a
of
girl.
questioning. This
Or rather,
time,
depends
I
on if
want
it's
to
male
know
or
how you
female.
would handle some tough
If it's a-
workplace scenarios.
I shall also hold the name in abeyance
Remember,
if,
you can use any
down the
word you
line,
see on your device
they
in
turn
your
out to be
answer.
NB.
Try grabbing a word from the question itself. It's almost like you're using my own words against me. Just like Linda.
Just like Linda.
Someone legit wrote a Dutex Wherg fanfic for the series' words.
Oh my god.
Kindness.
Why?
Make kangaroos happen. I mean, why not?
Fair enough.
You should be halfway done now.
Make
okay?
kangaroos happen.
I wonder if one day I should just react. I should try and watch Withnail and I on stream. That's a weird film.
What's it about?
It's about a bloke named Withnail and another bloke who is never named. The other bloke is played by Paul McGann, who also played the 8th Doctor. And it's about
go. The CEO asks you to
a
say
couple
the
of very
company
down on
slogan
their
in
luck
your
young men
commercial. How do you respond? Vote for your
going to the
favorite
country
man.
and not.
Fuck you, I don't know the slogan. I'll fuck the CEO and eat the jelly beans for 3 days straight.
This round, winning answers.
Yeah, that was a
matter
really
more
good one,
than
too.
more.
Yes.
Tyler says he's the most flexible
I
person.
honestly
in the
don't know what
office.
I'd name my
How do
kids.
you ruin his whole deal.
So I'll just delegate that task to work.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Tyler says he's the most flexible person in the
No,
office. How do
you, I
ruin
was
his whole
bare
deal?
naked and musky.
Plenty of work, Gussie, work. Can't say no to work, Gussie.
Interest. We're Gussie. That's, you know, that's a new one for me.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see. Sorry, it just reminded me.
We're handing out swag at the company picnic. What do you want to see in your swag bag?
Daniel Radcliffe in public.
Did
Word
you read
had
these out
a
loud?
morbid book. Wherg and Deut together in a sacrilegious gorilla fucksuit hentai smut. Don't put me and Wherg in rudity situations.
Sacrilegious gorilla fuck suit and dice smut.
The CEO's awful.
We already
son
have.
gave
No,
your
no,
direct supervisor
no. Wherg is the
how do you
schnuggable,
respond?
huggable, cutus patootus, whose hair I'm now burying my face in. Hide me from them, Wherg. Hide me from them.
And use the gorilla fuck suit on him in Deuterium the Mattress. Or
No.
shit the door and moan sex music. That wasn't funny. That wasn't funny at all. Why did I vote for it?
Your coworker has frequent, loud conversations on speakerphone. What do you do?
Fuck, bitch, shit. Or I fuck Wherg really loud.
Trent is wearing the shortest shorts for Casual Friday. How do you tactfully confront him?
Chat of Beatles and nutting to Deuterium and Wherg hentai. You muskie. Sorry, but you muskie. It's just great.
It's just wonderful.
You muskie.
Ted's birthday card just got to your desk. What message do you write inside?
Big beach, bigger crabs. Have a birthday. If I reached, I Wherg. That'd be Wherg. Big beach, bigger crabs. Have a birthday. I like that.
I like that one too.
It has vibes of Morbius is the movie of all time.
Yeah.
Chase, the office clown, has stolen all the TP from the stalls. What do you do when you have to, you know?
Ace, Wherg is good weather. I had never stolen I had stolen TP, never Chase. Just admit it.
This is just nonsense. It's Whergin time.
There's been a murder in the break room. How do you
It's
solve
always
the mystery?
Whergin time. Wait, I believe in Caspar less often. I murder Caspar! Wherg killed Daniel Radcliffe with a book. It was frightening! Deuterium the Sentient Mattress.
Why
What did you name the
Daniel Radcliffe?
son of what the daughter? I told you, Nicholas Machado, I'm delegating that to Wherg because I don't know.
Oh wow, that's I don't know. So I'm really good at naming people, but I kind of have to see them first. I named my
Well,
sister.
I accidentally named my sister as well.
Oh, yeah? What'd you name her?
Finds their way into our office. How do you survive?
I just well, basically,
green
I just
guy
sort
by
of-
the ass. Or
Whilst,
at the claws.
Whilst my parents were thinking of names, they really wanted the name Pippa, which I really thought was a bit stupid at the time. So offhandedly,
Yeah.
I suggested the name of a character from like a TV show, or rather name of like a kids' TV show I sometimes watched. And my parents were like, "Oh, actually, that's quite a nice name." And so inadvertently, my sister is now named after a character from a kids' TV show.
It's kind of funny. Mine is actually the same thing. I mean, probably not the same names, but yeah, I
Truly brilliant
suggested a
display.
name from a
Let's
kids'
see
TV
who's my
show that I
current
watched
favorite.
as a child.
You know what would go down
Sort
smooth
of,
right
that's
now?
because
One more icebreaker.
it just flows like that. Johnny,
Don't
look in the
overthink
edge. It just
let out
flows, you
whatever
know.
enters your mind. Unless you're thinking about a
Mhm.
snorkel
You
that's
get me,
also
Wherg,
a
right? Johnny, look
flashlight.
in the air.
It's my idea.
It flows better than Johnny head in
Yeah.
air.
Yeah, I agree.
You're about halfway through the timer.
Challenge. It's all about the landlubber.
Are you saying I'm Johnny Pilled, Stufe Defender?
Finish your answer before time runs out.
I was just thinking about funny. Hustle, actions speak louder than deniability. I'm fucking screenshotting that. One day I'm gonna have to go through all these
Yeah, that's a
screenshots.
good one.
Exactly what I hoped each of you would say.
Oh, my look in the air pill.
Okay, it's the final round, and it appears we're missing something. Your resumes. Probably my fault. I don't know how to work email, and I refuse to learn. But you know know what? I don't need resumes. Just finish the personal statement that's already started on your device. If you need motivation, remember, whoever gets the job gets to hang out with me all day, every day.
But I mean, listen to it. Listen to it. Johnny Head in Air. Johnny Head in Air. It sounds weird. When you say, Johnny, look in the air, it flows. Johnny, look in the air.
Hey, you're halfway through the timer.
That's my answer then. You just don't like mixing and matching. It's fair enough. And again, I'm the kind of person where, like, if a character has a localized name, I will refer to them by that name in any context.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For instance, the character named Janochi Katsuya in the Japanese dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! I will always refer to as Joey Wheeler. No matter what the context, I will refer to him as Joey Wheeler.
Hey, we're almost out of time.
So that's what not shower means.
Okay, let's see him.
According to Google Translate, it's on the floor. I will suck tits better than sand, and it's musky. I won't move you lower down or on the quicksand. I will fuck Wherg and Deut. I won't fuck Wherg in a sacrilegious gorilla fuck suit.
Vote already.
Good grief.
Ryu, speaking of Danganronpa, I always cringe whenever people refer to the kids as the super high school level XXX. Like, it does not flow. That just does not flow. That's why they localized it to Ultimate.
It's the last round, so let's really jack up that score bonus, shall we?
It might work in Japanese, it doesn't work in English. I will fuck Guy Animal Crossing Wherg. I won't fuck Deut ass and Deut shit. Thank you. I will having sex with Wherg and Deuterium. I won't, I don't know, some shit. I see the name Gaspar and I just think of the name of the haunter you get traded in, I think it's Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Broth-based cat food. I don't know what that means.
Interesting.
Yeah, ultimate entomologist. That flows off the tongue better than super high school level entomologist. That's too it's unwieldy. Cat food with the broth base. Okay.
I will listen to Lucy Crow. I won't listen to an anthropomorphic fox singing Beatles songs. Or I will fuck in the gorilla my suit fuck. Or I won't fuck Deut Wherg I. This is just nonsense.
Just like the Eye of Argon. We ought to do a sequel to that stream. This stream, even.
Yeah, I agree.
Synergy.
Absolutely. I will haunt Daniel Radcliffe. I won't start morbid and frightening friends in public. I will fire a bazooka on toddlers. I won't drag Wherg to school. Yes, Rio, I actually have played all of Danganronpa, and I have seen all of Danganronpa 3 too. My favourite is... I'd have to think. Possibly Kazuichi. Kazuichi, but up there as well are Maki and Sony Nevermind. I will bukake fuck a gorilla sacrilegious. I won't sex with Luchable and Green Guy. I will value Wherg and Deut in a gorilla fuck suit. I won't value Struvel hentai. Definitely don't value that. I have not seen that much of it, Nicholas. Oh yeah, Gunter is... Gunter, I must protect Gunter. Gunter is... Gunter Gokuharas are for protecting. They are for protecting. That is just their purpose. Gunter's a wonderful chaps.
Great, we're done. I wish we had the budget to hire all of you and still pay for my yearly bonus, but we don't.
One, and who's going to be picking the first game next time? Oh god, it's me.
Deuterium.
The job goes to...
Me!
Fiscal producer of Rock Bottom Line.
Good job.
I'm going to delegate my vote to Wherg.
Oh, and Owen, you're fired.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't be bothered to pick. What should we play first next time? Because it's hit 10:39.
Monster Dating Monster. I like that one.
Oh, hang on a sec. Is that one of the ones in the list? Let me check. Yeah, it's in the list. Monster Seeking Monsters in the list, so that means none of that. We don't play Monster Seeking Monster anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's lost its appeal.
Oh, okay. Whiplash 3.
Whiplash 3 sounds good to me. Now, we come to the point of the evening where I find someone to raid. Who's streaming right now? Stubby is. Let's raid Stubby.
Well, hell yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna suggest.
Come yes, him. Give me a sec, whilst I open up Firefox instead of Firefox instead of Chrome, because I'm not logged into Twitch on Chrome. I would love to actually be able to there we go. Do it. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Get in a chat. Say hi everyone. Good stream. Bye bye.
Alright, goodbye everyone. Have a great